Hi, guys. I think I'm live here. Let's see here. My God, the ring light going here. Looks like I'm half and half. Uh, my space is so limited. I'm on my Chromebook again. Looks like my computer's died. It will not pick up the internet. I've turned it on and off. I'm doing all the things. I don't know what's going on, and I'm having a really bad hair day. I just think I need to okay, all the complaining's done. Let's see here. Let's get commemorated here. There we go. I'm pulling the wrong sleeve. There we go. And I think my mic's working, I hope. Um, we're already starting with our ums. So how's everybody? This is Patsy. I'm the maker behind and crazy lady behind Melizzi's. And I'm hoping you all can join us today. If not, I'm hoping this is a good time for any of those folks in our international across the pond and down under. Might be evening there. So I'm hoping this is something they can catch live at some point. That would be fun. And just don't forget, though, there will be a replay. I put replay on there and the number so you know where we're at. And if you want to watch any of the others, and I'd love to hear your comments and, what you've been up to, what you like about the channel, what you like to see, if you're enjoying it, all that good stuff. It helps me know kind of who my audience is and what they want to hear and do and all that. But I'm hoping it's a fun, joyful time for everyone, a place to hang out, chat, just do some crocheting and learn a few things and talk about our little part of the world here. Just trying to keep smiling. That's all we can do here in the US. Never give up hope. Keep the faith. Anyways, let's see where we're at here. Well, today is Saturday, yes, and it is a noonish time here on the East Coast. I'm on in Eastern Standard Time, and this will be a little bit of a more of a about my markets. I've started doing my spring market, and I've got two big ones, the two biggest of the year coming up back to back 2 weekends in a row. So I'm panicking, of course. Am I gonna have enough stuff made? But I wanted to kind of go over to how my market went. I think it was last weekend. I think it was on the 14th, and see, just kind of let you know what's selling here, the price range. Just, it was a little early for Easter, but I did sell a couple bunnies and things. So, and I don't have another one before Easter. So anything that didn't sell at that market that was kind of Eastery will be at my spring other two markets, which is fine. They usually will sell. But what I did find, one of the main tips, it was pricing. I'm in a very small town in Ohio, and I think we're starting to feel the crunch a little bit, with the inflation and just pricing and now gas going up. I just really don't know what the markets are gonna be like this year. So, I am planning on having as many under $20 items, that I can. I'll have a few over the $20, but I didn't sell anything over, I think, 15. Maybe there was one $18 item, but everything I sold, and I did well. I did actually really well for that market because there's a few other crocheters there, which is awesome. We all have a say in this, and I hope they did well too. It was pretty steady. People were buying, but I did notice that the high ticket items were just being looked over. No one bought any market bags. Any of the things that take me a while to make that I priced them a little higher and stuff, more materials, and just didn't even show really much interest. But the smaller things, my $5 bin just about sold out. I think I had 2 items left in that. And let me think. Well, not to go to everything. I guess it's kind of I'm getting all over the place if I do that. But my but the main takeaway for me was that I need to have 15 and under really, for my next markets. So that does limit some of the things that I make that I love to make, but there's no reason making them just to sit on the shelf. And I understand, I completely understand. We're getting into a time here in this country where it's not wants, it's needs, and especially for families. And I sell toys for littles, and I'd sell a variety of things, but mainly my plushies. So I'm probably going to be looking at my plushies more in the 15 and under range. So those will be the ones I'll be making going forward. And then I'll be doing more of the. I actually sold some coasters, a pack of coasters and things. So I'm going to do a few more of those type of items. Probably no wearables, anything high ticket. That's just is probably not going to happen. Be selling, and I just don't want to take stuff just to sit there. It's a lot of work, and I like to take what people are wanting and they need and they can afford. And we do have this one festival that's coming up is, let me think. It's the Lilac Festival, and I probably mentioned it before. It's our largest one here of the year, and the whole street, main downtown Main Street, pretty much about, I think, like 4 or 5 blocks. They close it down, put all the, tents up, all the canopies, all the vendors and food trucks and games and pony rides, and you name it, it's there. And it's all about lilacs because I believe lilacs is the city or the county's flower. And I love lilacs, my favorite ever since I growing up in Michigan. It was just like the best, my mama's favorite. So I definitely love this festival just for the whole theme. So I'm going to be making plants that are lilac plants and making them small though. All my plants pretty much, I think I've got one larger one, but pretty much the 15 and $12 plants, they sold out. Well, didn't sell out, but just about. I think I had 5 plants left out of 20. So those were my number one bestseller. And if you like make crocheting plants, they do take a while, but I do not charge them by the hour. I charge them by the size. And I have found that $12 to $15 is a good place, for that, for those that they sell the best at that product or that price. And but as soon as I start getting over 15, $20, it gets harder. But we do have a lot of people coming from Michigan, Indiana. They come from other parts of Ohio. So it's kind of fun that we, get a lot more people at this, and hopefully they'll have more budgets. But I usually sell out at this market. So I'm hoping it'll be a good market, worth the time and effort, but I do enjoy them or I wouldn't do them. I think we actually have found a guy that's going to help my sister and I set up. We always get booths side by side. She sells completely different things than me, but we always get 2 booths so we can have one for me, one for her. So we're always right together. And when we're outdoor booths, we do set up with with grids in between they're heavy and they hang down from, and we tie our tents or canopies together. So that way, even if it starts to get windy and stuff, we hold up pretty well. So, but it's really fun. The grids kind of divide us, but then we can still hang stuff on either side. And it's really working out good for us, but it is, it's hard setting all that up. And young man at the, it's a cute little story actually from that market. He was talking to my sister and his wife, and he's got a little baby, and they're a very young couple. And he just said this baby is my life. He's just this little girl. And he wanted to get her a new wedding band. And my sister sells really nice jewelry and things she makes. And she had a band that they loved. And he said, I want to replace the one I got for her because we didn't have the money and it was really cheap. And I think it turned her finger green. And, he just felt horrible. And he said, she deserves so much better than that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So they had to think about it, and she was trying to give him as good a price as she could, and then we were talking about and then he was standing there because his wife had gone into the Bath& and Body Works. We're in a mall for this last craft show, and we're right outside the Bath and Body Works. So the what she was in the store, and he was had the baby in this little stroller, and they would just walk around. We were talking, and it was right at the end of the day, so we were starting to break down the all of our, all of our stuff, getting ready to load it up, and we were both complaining because we're old ladies about how tough it is, to be, working on all this and loading it up and all that. And he's like, well, and I said, yeah, we just need to find some young man that needs a little extra money or something to help us set the stuff up and load it up. It's just would help so much, especially the loading it up after a day at the, sitting there and, you're tired and you want to go home and you still have to lug all that stuff out to the parking lot. So, um, he was saying, "Well, when is this?" And, he started getting curious about it. And so we told him, what time it would be. And he was like, "Well, I'd be happy to help you guys." And we're like, "Oh my gosh, really?" Like, yes, yes, yes. So we told him the day it was, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that." And my sister said, "I'll tell you what, you come and help us set up, both of us, and break down, and I'll give you that wedding band." And his eyes just like lit up, and she's practically giving it away for him, but I think it was just to see his face. He was just like, "Oh, you don't have to do that." She said, "No, no, this is hard work, and you're willing to show up and do it and help us, and um, that's the least I could do." So he's gonna come and help us. Trying to remember his name. I think it's Cameron. It was Cameron. He's gonna help us, so, we're ecstatic about it because we need that young, strong back because ours and our knees and our back. I've got the back, my sister's got the knee stuff, so between us, we barely get it done. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share that story with you because it was so cute and, helping out kids nowadays, the younger kids just trying to make it in this day and age. I just can't imagine how tough it is. I think about how tough it was for us, but it was affordable at least, and I don't know, how they do it. But, anyways, so that being said, that was a great market. We won't have another market there at the mall until, September, no, October. So, we'll be doing that in, the fall. We'll have 3 markets there in the fall, October, November, and December. And, I'm looking forward to that, but right now, we've decided not to do summer ones. We did that last year and about died in the heat, so we have 2 more coming up, and we decided on the 2 biggest ones that have the most people and, just make it worth our while to do them. So, we're pretty much planning most of our sales then on these next 2 festivals, so we'll see. 'Cause we're hoping we make enough to take our trip we wanna do up to Michigan and see our old hometown and, cousins and do some rock picking and, just see the beaches and just, later in the summer and just have a good time, visiting and something we've been wanting to do since I moved back here. It's been, 2.5 years, and I can't believe we haven't been up there yet, but we'll get there. But anyways, enough about me, enough about that. So back to the market and our best sellers and things. So the number one, as I said, were the plants, and I'll show you. I've got a couple left. So this will give you an idea of what my plants are. And this one I've had a while. This one here, and I think I'm gonna get. I can take it apart. It actually comes out of the pot. So I'm thinking, because people love this, but I don't think they like the yellow. So having being this is a yellow pot, I put a little bee on it to make it kinda cute, but and I only have $15 on this, and this is a pretty long one. I started out, I think, 25 on this, and I'm down to 15 and still no buyers. So since this was one I put in a pot, I think I'm gonna make a different pot for it, a different hanger and stuff, and see if I can get 15 for that. So that is one that didn't sell yet, but I think it will. It gets attention, but then they hesitate for I'm not sure what reason, but I'm thinking it's the pot. So the other one that was still is still there, and this is, made out of some plushy yarn. It's really soft and plushy. It does get attention. I have 15 on it, so I'm thinking because of the size, I might just go ahead and put it at 12 for this mark it down so we can move it. It really didn't take that much yarn, so I think cost-wise, probably not much different than, the acrylic ones, using making the acrylic. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and put this one at 12 because it did get some, but at 12, 15, I tell you, it makes a difference. So right now, I just need to move them, and I would love for someone to have that. And I don't think it's too big for a car. It might be, but still around the house office, I think it will sell. And I don't think it's the anything else about it. I think it was maybe the price. And then these two surprised me that everybody's, oh, how cute, but they just don't sell. They haven't sold. And I have 15 on these now, and they're just little guys. I just think they're so cute. And I don't know, 15 is like, that's cheap. So, and I even have them on my Etsy page, and I'm surprised. This isn't a really bright orange. That looks like a light orange, but it's actually a pumpkin-y color orange in life. And this is a little brighter green on the top. But I don't know, it's because it's on got a black hanger, maybe it looks Halloween-y or something, so I may just I don't know, I don't really wanna reduce the price on them, or they don't like the faces. This is the only ones I have that have faces on them. I don't know, but there's that one, and then another one similar, little bit different colors. Let me see if I can get it to hang here, and they're on, like, little swings, and they're so cute, and I don't know. So I think I'll put them at 12 to see if I can get them to move and, you know, see what happens. But these 2 were left. And then, this one has gotten a lot of attention but hasn't bought, and I'm thinking this for in a car, the hanger, I didn't make it long enough. So I'm thinking, and I have 12 on this one, and maybe putting a few more things on it, but I think it's got enough stuff hanging. It's supposed to be like a Christmas cactus, but, it's just little red flowers, and maybe people aren't into the red flowers, but maybe it'll more likely sell okay at the, Lilac Festival, but this isn't as long as I usually make it. I'm not sure why I made that short. Who knows? But it may slip over a rearview mirror, but if not, it'd be cute in an office or a home. But I just, hopefully this one will sell. And then the last one, which I was surprised this one didn't, and this one actually got picked up, but somebody decided, I think it's because it's in this, all the ones in this little teardrops actually sold. Um, except for this one. So I was very happy about that. And I'm not sure why this one didn't, but the other ones did have a little longer hanger. So I might put an extension on this. So if someone wants to hang it in a car, they can. So I think I'll modify this one, but it's really cute. It's really cute. I just love this one. So I'm sure it'll sell. And I have this one at 12 also. It's a tiny basket. But I love these little teardrop shapes it makes. I had 5 of these, and this was the only one left. I think I had 5 in this type of basket. So that's that. Those are the plants that didn't sell. And it wasn't as busy, not near as busy as it's going to be. So I'm not gonna like give them away this next market. But you know how that is. I'd love to know if you guys do markets, and what your best sellers are, or what you're finding at your market as far as traffic or what people are spending. I did have a couple of big sales where someone bought 2 or 3 things, but as far as prices, the on each item, they say I have some items, they're all my snugglers, my bigger, plushies and stuff are like 18 to 25, 28, and I didn't sell any of those, and I usually sell at least 2 to 3. So, and especially in a spring market and with Easter coming, not even a duck. I was surprised at that. So, I just think it's people aren't put wanting to spend that much money. Not that they don't think it's worth it, because I keep my items really reasonable, but I really just feel they've got a limit, and I did take in more cash than I did credit card, which is a little unusual, so I sure people's like, "Okay, I take $20 for the craft show and that's it?" So, once the cash is gone, it's done. They didn't want to use their credit cards. But I did get, another great thing about markets is that networking and meeting people and everything, and I did get, um, 1 3 custom orders from that market, and one I've already done, and she's already picked it up. She wanted some Yip Yips. If you know what those are, the little baskets with the googly eyes. They were on, I believe, Sesame Street or something. I don't know. They were little alien guys, but she's been looking for them, and I said, "Well, I can make them for you if you like." So I made them, and she came picked them up. She was thrilled. So I got that, and then she's got my card and, grandkids, so, hopefully she'll order other things, and then I have another lady that actually ordered 2 separate orders. She ordered, see, what did she order? A seal and a great white shark, and she loves the plushies, and the shark she wanted bigger and then the seal smaller, and then she called me or sent me a text, said she wanted 3 more things. So, I think she wanted some horses or, some keychains. They're keychains, I believe, with horses or donkeys, something with a rose in their mouth. She sent me pictures, which is something easily I can make. And I say I'm very picky, though. I don't just say yes to everything. I hate to turn down things, but I don't wanna stress about custom orders. If it's something I don't think I can find a pattern, or the pattern's gonna be too difficult or take me too long, or they don't wanna pay what it would take, then I don't do it. Just don't do it. I got plenty other things to do, so I'm nice about it, but, I gotta remember to say no when it's appropriate. I like this to be fun, it's my retirement job, and, it started as a hobby, but now I'm actually making money with it, and that's why I wanted to get on YouTube so I can share what I'm learning and, getting to know folks out there, and, they can help me with things. I'd love to hear what you have to say too. So remember, on the replay, comment. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'm thinking about doing the giveaway, at some point when I start getting comments and viewers on here, so I'd love to do some giveaways because I got a ton of yarn, and I wouldn't mind, like, "I don't really want this anymore, I don't think I'm gonna use it." You get all those sales or stuff, and then you don't use it, so, that's something down the road, but, as this channel grows, we'll see how that goes. And then, I do have some more. Well, this is another thing that was my bestseller, and I actually don't have anything to show you, are my pickles. The emotional support pickles sold every one. I think I had 6. Yes, I didn't have 4 I had 6 this time because 'cause I'd made more because I always sell out. I sold out all those, and I make the bigger ones. I sell them for $6 because they take me just minutes to make, and I put this little, I don't know if you can read that or not. I put this little, hang this on it, on the pickle, and it just, has a little saying about, how great they are and hang in there. But people love those little pickles. So if you look, and there's plenty of free patterns on Instagram and stuff for them. I just freehand them now. I don't even use a pattern. But, and some of these items I've shown you have patterns. I modify a lot of things. It's kind of like I do with recipes. 'cause I'm vegan, so I have to modify, dairy and meat and things like that. But other things, I always modify the spices and all that. So I love to be able to do that. So if there's anything that you see that you would like a pattern for it, just let me know. Put in the comments, "Oh, I like that cactus with the red flowers. Do you have a pattern for that?" Or whatever. Um, because a lot of this is stuff I just make up in my head. But some things I do look at a pattern and then kind of figure out how I want to do it. But I would be happy to, share patterns and give anyone credit that deserves it. Um, so anyways, pickles. I fill this thing up. I don't know, this was an old, I don't know what it had in it, Cheeto Puffs or something. I was cleaned out, but I had a glass one. Of course, I dropped it and broke it at a show. So we don't take glass anymore. So this is plastic. Just FYI. Another little market tip. So those sold out. So I think I'm making at least 10 for the first market and 10 for the second one, probably. So I got about 20 pickles to make. And I'm not very good at making a lot of something at one time. I get bored very easily. And you probably tell by my videos, a little ADHD going on here. So to manage that and not get overwhelmed, I just do things in small chunks, but I just keep doing things because I have a lot of energy and I want to do things, but I get overwhelmed if I sit there and go, okay, we got to make 20 pickles. That I just, I'll make two or three and just them start freaking out because I don't feel like making 20. So I just tell myself, let's make some pickles and then we'll see how many we make. So, that's kinda how I do it. I don't really do the production line. Now, right now, making plants because I have so many plants I wanna make, I am just making all the leaves, the foliage, the flowers for each plant right now, and then I'll make baskets for them and the dirt, um, with the hangers and stuff, at another time. Right now, I'm just trying to get as many of the part that takes the longest done, and then I'll have a day, I'll make a few baskets, and I'll make a few baskets here and there. They don't take that long, and I just kinda really wanna make sure I get the main part of the plant done. And then this basket here, you can see I've got a few things. These were my best sellers, the rest of my best sellers. Now, actually, these are hatching chicks. Oh my god, they're so adorable. I sold out of these the last year at every market I had them. I sold out, and I would usually have 6 to 12 of them. And I think I had 6 this time, and I only sold 3 because I have 3 left. So that was a little unusual, and they're $12, and it's never been a problem, but they're just a little egg and the little chick here. I just love these guys, and I say I was a little surprised these didn't sell out, but I did sell 3 of the 6, so I consider that a good seller. And it may be because I had some other hatching guys. This is another hatching chick that was left. It was kind of one of each. I had like 2 whites, 2 yellows, 2 grays, so like one of each sold, so I have one of each left. The other thing that sold really well, I had 7 and I have 3 left, are the little hatching animals. And I'll put down now these I do use patterns. This was a new pattern for me, the hatching animals, and I cannot remember who it was. I'll put it in the description down below so when this is over so you'll know. But this is a little elephant. Isn't he cute? And his little got kind of bent. His little trunk got a little bent in the bag, but he's got a little tail back here. But he got a little bit of attention, but no one picked him up, which I was surprised. I usually sell my elephants. But he's still here and he's in a little peanut shell. This is supposed to be like a peanut shell. And then they just close and they have a little loop here. Get his head in there. And then they have a little loop that you make as you're doing that and row. They're really fast. They really do work up fast, though, especially the egg part. And they just have a little button to close them. So I had that one left. I had 2 carrots and 2 bunnies. So the blue bunny did not sell. And the was he gray or tan? I want to say he was a tan color bunny sold. And then this is his little tail, and he's in a carrot. Isn't that too cute? I just love these. They got a lot of attention. Um, but like I said, these there was 3 that didn't sell, so 4 did. The 4 that sold, the first one was the monkey, I believe, and he is the cutest. It's a little monkey and a banana peel. It is so cute. So I definitely be making some more of those. But it was the monkey sold, one of the carrots. You think, oh, a squirrel had a squirrel and an acorn. And let's see, that's squirrel, acorn, carrot, monkey. So I think that was no squirrel and acorn, carrot, rabbit, monkey, banana. Okay, what was the other one? Ah, I know it. It'll come to me. But anyways, those are the ones that sold. And I had a couple of oddball hatching ones that were bigger chicks that sold. I had those marked down just to get move those, and those sold. Now this one is an axolotl, baby axolotl in his egg, and he's got a little tail here. Isn't that cute? So he was still left. And it may be the colors are kinda I was thinking that looking at 'em, they're kinda babyish, and these really aren't for babies because I did put safety eyes in, so but I still thought it was cute colors, so I don't know if this color or no one actually, I had 3 other axolotls. I had a large one and 2 smalls, and neither of those sold, and that's surprising. That's the first time this is my first market that I did not sell an axolotl. So they may be fading. They may have had their time. So those are the 3 that did not sell. And then one more good bestseller were my popping mushroom keychains. And I had 12, no, 10 of these, I think, left because I had some left, 8 to 10. But they're the little popping guys. So they just pop up and down. And people love these, just little keychain. And I have 2 left. So out of, let's say, I think I had 8 to 10, I had 2 left. So we had 2 left. So that was good. And these I only had these at $5 because I've had them at a couple markets. So I thought I'll just get rid of them. And at $5, they flew off the shelves. And they're pretty small. They don't take any time. So 5 is you can whip out a bunch of these in an hour. So I think they're a really good one I'll be making more of. Because keychains can be hit and miss. I try to keep them easy, small, because you get too expensive with them. They just don't go. Bag charms, keychains, bag charms. So that's that in my little one here. So, oh, and also the one that didn't sell. That's right. This little guy. I don't know if I even included him in the totals. This is my little cat, and everybody loves him. Now I have 15 on him now. I sold one at 20 last year. It was a pink one, and it had a barrel cactus. So I think I'm going to make that one again and see if I can get both of them sold. But his is a little yucca. So this one did not sell either at 15. I'm going to have to put him at 12. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this market, since there's so many more people, I'll be able to sell them. Let's see. I think that's it. And I don't know if you guys caught my last video, but I was doing making my market. We're done with markets now. If you guys have any questions about the patterns, that I use, or I'll list as many patterns as I can find, and the market itself. If you have any questions about it, or pricing, or how I do my pricing. I know those are questions that we all ask, and if you haven't done markets before, I have a lot of info for you if you want it. I make a lot I do a lot of not a ton of markets, but I do a lot of big markets, and so there's a lot of prep and organizing. So if you need any help with that, just let me know in the comments, and I will get back to everyone in the comments. Back here, you can see this right here is my new shelf. This was from, let me see if we can get it in here. There we go. That's from my sis. Got me this little, it's a fold up shelf, but it's pretty sturdy. It's holding a lot of stuff right now. I think I'm going to go up on top of it with some of these cubes here that I have that put together. I have a lot of extra ones of those that I don't use all of them for my market setup. So I think those extra ones, I'm going to go ahead and use them and maybe take that up a little higher. I've got a shelf that needs to come off the wall that's tilting and I can't get it stay up. So I think I'm going to put, she said it's 36 inches across. So if it is, I should be able to get 3 cubes across and then go up at least 2 high. I think that'll give me a lot more space there. And I just have yarn, y'all. I mean, look at this closet. I got to clean that top shelf for the closet. And then I moved another rack I moved it. It's actually facing this way and it's loaded up. It has a lot of my market things on it, my bags on that middle shelf, but the bottom shelf of it is all, there's little bags down. Let's see, right there. Those little cubes have all my scrap yarn in it. So I've got those, and then I've got 2 more cubes on the bottom of this other shelf with just scrap yarn. So, but I don't think that's too bad, just 3 cubes of scrap yarn. But the top shelf, I didn't get this all done. I thought I would have this whole thing done, but I did get everything off the floor that I needed off the floor. So it is up on a shelf and organized. So all I have left now is the closet, which has all the hanging dividers in it, which work great for yarn. And then on the top shelf is just some boxes and things that for shipping that I'm going to move all of that. So I think that I can put some more cubes up there and fill it up. Don't have any problem filling it up. And then I have a dresser over here that has all my craft supplies. So that's all my craft supplies. So, you know, it is a process. We keep it. Yeah. Oh, how'd you like I sold these too. Little headbands, some sewing things. I thought the cherries were appropriate since happy spring, by the way, to everyone. It is now spring. I did actually get out and get some raking done with all the storms we've had and the wind, really. I've got a tree in the front that's probably gonna have to come down here one of these years when we afford to do it. But it's losing little limbs and stuff. So the front yard was pretty covered in lots of little limbs and things. So I have, I got that's all done. And then let's see here. What else was I going to talk to you guys about? Well, anyway, so I've got a list of everything I'm going to be making for my markets. So if there's I'll just kind of read it off to you guys just so you have an idea. This is what I bring to the market. This is, let's see here. Okay, I got my list of yarns I need to go buy. But what I'm going to be making for the next 2 festivals, and I've got almost 6 weeks, about 6 weeks to do. So it sounds like a long time, but my gosh, it goes so fast. So I'm already been making stuff, but I'm going to make plants. I've got 16 plants I want to make, and more if I can. 8 keychains, 12 pickles for now, and hopefully that'll be enough, but I may end up making, and I can always make those at the market, but at this one, the second market we're doing, I haven't done before. It's actually a little farther from our town. It's at a fairgrounds, but it looks like it's huge. And we got into that, but so I'm not sure how much, I'll sell there and stuff, but I figure if I can get at least, get through these 2 markets. I was saying I can't make pickles or anything at the market, at least I know at the Lilac Festival, because it's just constant people. I mean, constant. There's really no downtime at all. You might be able to sit for a little while by to register and stuff, but, my husband will come, and he did last year, it was so sweet, and went and got us some sodas and something to eat, and but you have no time to go to the bathroom, do anything, so it's pretty crazy. So I don't even bring anything to crochet because it isn't gonna happen. The other festival, I don't know, but I try to just be prepared, and, I don't worry about it. If I don't make everything I wanna make, I don't. It is what it is, and I'll sell what I have. Um, and you never know, it may end up being I make all this stuff and then it don't have my sales. You just don't know. It's just how markets go, so I just don't stress about that. I mean, the week before I stress a little because it's the week before the market. You just you're all the things are going through your head, and you're not sleeping real good, and you're just thinking, "Oh, did I forget that? Oh, I should do that." And, especially the last 2 or 3 days before the market, I get a little wound up, ready to go. But, um, but that's, kinda how it goes. So anyway, so we're making plants, keychains, pickles, hatching animals. Those are the little guys and the eggs, some more of those. Maybe it's more chicks too. And I don't know, I've got small snugglers on here, but unless I do the small, small ones, the like $15 under, I won't make probably any of those. Um, Car charms, I'm making some different, they're more car charm and they're like hanging, uh, they're kinda like hanging plants, but they're just, they're not in a basket, so they're like hanging little bluebells and, lilies, just different things that just hang from the mirror, but they're not in a basket, not like a plant, like strawberries and things like that. And, frogs, oh, I saw another one, I only had 2 frogs, so I don't consider that like a bestseller, but I did sell both frogs, and the one with the popping mushroom on his head, that one sold right away. So I'm making more frogs. So I've got 10 frogs down there, and I've got 10 car charms and some loaf cats. I've been selling I didn't have any loaf cats at this last one in the mall because I have a store in the mall where I sell the loaf cats, and they sell well there. It's slow, but they eventually sell. But I think my last ones have sold, and since I have these 2 markets coming and it's summer, the mall slows down here. I don't know if it's ever really busy, but it's busy enough. But she has like she does art supplies and classes and stuff in the store. But I'm thinking of putting just not putting there and just make them for the market this time. And, if I do, I'll put some there, but I'm taking some to the market, and I will sell them for the same price that I sell in the store. It's one thing you wanna make sure if you ever are gonna duplicate and sell at a market and a store, especially in the same town, you do not want to be selling them for less at the market, even though I'm paying a 20% commission, for her to sell those for me. She gets 20%, I get 80%. I don't get $15, I get 12, I believe it would be $12. However, I don't feel it's right to then sell for 12 at the market, if you see where I'm going with that. So, I'm not gonna take from her sales there, at least price-wise, and I will let her know I'm gonna have them at the market also so that, I'm not trying to be sneaky or anything. But I think loaf cats they do really well still, so I'm gonna try and have, like, 10 loaf cats. And then, things I need to order, I need to get some more, tags, that I put on stuff. Oh, one thing that didn't sell that surprised me were my chicken nuggets. I don't know why the chicken nuggets didn't sell. I always sell out of them, and I always sell them for $5 a piece. If you ever made little chicken nuggets, I put them in a little red basket with the checker paper, and they're so cute. But this is the first time I'm not even sold. I didn't sell even one, and people go, "Oh, chicken nuggets," and I figured they're gonna be bringing them to the counter. No one bought a chicken nugget. So I think I'm gonna put keychains on them, and they'll at least they'll have that effect. They can hang them on their backpacks or, the person wherever they're gonna use them. But people usually love the chicken nuggets, and I did hear people saying, "Oh, chicken nuggets," but nobody bought any. So I think I'm gonna put keychains. A lot of times with the smalls like that, if you put keychains on them, you have a good chance of selling them. And I sell them still for $5 because I get these plastic. They're I don't know if I've got anything with the keychain. Oh yeah, I just get these little plasticky ones here with the loop, the ball and little chain thing, and then this, and it can just slide through. I use a needle to slide it through. I just get these. I don't get the real fancy ones, and that's fine. That's all you need. So I might do that, but that was a big surprise. None of the chicken nuggets sold. So I don't know if it's because it's I don't know. I don't know. That was and the other thing that didn't sell, I didn't sell any, were my bags. Oh, I did sell one small one. Excuse me. I sold one small market bag, but I had some larger ones, even with little pouches on them, to put stuff in. And I mean, they were really cute. People, oh, look in there, looked at them, but nobody. And I think I had them for $20, maybe 15 to 20. So like I'm saying, oh, they loved it, but over 15, $20, they're like, that's a want, not a need. So I'm not making any more market bags, and hopefully I'll sell them at these markets. But I didn't have that many, maybe five or six. But that surprised me too, because I've always sold out my bags. So that was another thing. And small bags. I need to order some small bags for my to put my products in to give to people. So I need some more of those. And then my yarn, there's my yarn list here. Just, of course, I don't have the colors I need. I do have one. I have a couple for this the custom orders, but I only have I still have out of things. It's funny how you say, I'm on a no yarn ban and all this. And then as soon as you do that, then you're like, oh, but I'm out of red and I need red for this. So you're gonna buy yarn. So I'd always try to keep my eye on what's like Michael's, or we're in a small town. The only place you can buy a yarn store is Hobby Lobby, which I will not buy from. And so I've had to one time I went in there and never again. But I morally I will not do it. But I just what was I thinking of here? Oh, our Joann's closed. Rest in peace, Joanne. I miss Joanne. Uh, and then we have a Walmart, which sometimes they stock it, sometimes they don't. They're trying to get some new yarns in there, I've noticed, but it's really hit or miss. And then our Myers. Now, our Myers store is actually doing really good. They've added more yarn, and they've added the Karen yarns, acrylic stuff, which are much softer than the Red Heart, the Super Savers, and those type of Red Heart. And they have great sales there. Their Bernat blankets like $9.99, which is pretty much what Walmart's is, I think. Sometimes it's $8.97. So I can go in there and that's what this list is for, actually, is for the Myers store. So hopefully I'll be able to find what I need there. But they have cotton. They had the Kobu, which I love. I'm actually making a lavender, lilac. Let me show you this yarn. I love it. I don't know if you've seen Kobu or not, but it's my favorite cotton yarn. It's a blend, I believe, but this is lilac. It's called Kobu, and it's in a little, I don't know, this is a donut. I assume a donut or a cake. But it's 232 yards. So being a small cake, this would be a cake because there's no hole. For being a small cake, it's actually, you get quite a bit. It's cotton and rayon from bamboo. So cotton, Kobu, bamboo. So Kobu is the name. But this is lilac, and I don't know how that looks pretty good. This looks a little more purple. It's more of a mauve color. Yeah, the color's not really coming out. But I thought since it's the Lilac Festival, I'm going to make this little, it's a vest, kind of like a little jacket, not a vest, it's a little jacket. And it's got longer sleeve, but it's all mesh. So it's open because it can be a little warm at these events. So I'm going to make that, and it's got a little tie, but it's long sleeve, like a bell sleeve. So I'm going to make it 3/4, just past my elbow, so it doesn't get in the way. Those long sleeves with the bells, I want to always tie them tight, and I'm afraid it'll be too hot. So, anyway, so I'm going to do that, and so I'm making this. But I got this at Michael's. I was really surprised. Think I left them one, but I think I got 5 or 6. I know I have enough to make that little, jacket, little throw over, and I'll just wear a little tank top under it or something, so it should be real cute. But they kinda want us to have lilac colors or, products, or, maybe, that is a lilac or something like that. So I thought, "Ah, we're making a little jacket to wear, it'd be so cute." So I'm excited about that. Hopefully I can get it done in between. But, you just one day at a time. I make my list, check off what I can, take it over to the next day. But I'll probably do this like in the evenings. I'm sitting in bed because I don't go to sleep right away. And a lot of times I'll read and things. So instead of reading, I'll just work on this. So, and since it's mesh, it should go pretty fast. So I'm excited about this. But anyway, so Meyer, if you have a Myers in your uh, town or wherever you live, check it out. Go check it out. Because our closest, I think there's a Michael's, but it's like an hour from here. So there really isn't anything within 30 minutes, or, that's really makes sense. So I just order online, and I just get yarn I'm pretty familiar with, because I just don't know what it's gonna be like unless someone, I watch, a show called Juan the Yarn Addict, and I don't know if anybody has seen that, but it is the best. I love Juan. He is so good. I've learned so much. He goes live a lot, and he's kind of my inspiration for doing these lives, because I really don't want to spend time having to edit and try and figure all that part out. And I wanna be on here though. So I kinda took his inspiration and not copying him. Obviously, I can't be Juan. I'm Patsy. But, it's just I enjoy it. And he does a lot of the whipping with Juan, just gets on there and he just talks. That tonight's a Saturday night, what's it called? Saturday date night live with Juan. Um and he just talks about anything, and he's got a Sunday, and he's got memberships where he gives a free pattern away every month that he makes. He's more of a wearables, blankets. He's not a plushy type, guy, but he does talk a lot about stitches and yarns and things like that, which I have learned a lot from that. And I've been crocheting forever, since I was young, so a long time, and there's still stuff to learn. You never know it all. You just never do it all, so it's really fun to watch him. And then there's another one I like, okay. Oh, Melody Yarn Tinka. I think that's the cutest name. But Melody just is so joyful, so bright, so cute. She reminds me of a little elf, just a little fairy elf. She's just the sweetest lady. And her daughter, Sonia, is so sweet. I just love watching her. And she makes a lot of the shrugs and the granny squares. And she's actually got a mushroom granny square that I want to make. It's a little purse, but I think I'm gonna hold off to the fall to make that because I wanna make it with acrylic and not cotton. So, anyways, but I really enjoy her channel, and I think she goes live on Tuesdays, and then she has a a recorded video once a week. I'm thinking it's Monday, Friday, I don't remember, but it's Melody Yarn Tinka, and I'll link their, channels below for you guys if you wanna check them out because 'cause they're my 2 favorites right now. Well, there's so many favorites, but I really enjoy them for learning a lot of things that, and just enjoy their personalities and the time with them and the and the member, they have a lot of chat and just a fun group. So anyways, um, all right. Well, I've been yabbering away for, oh my gosh, it's been almost an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little sesh of me yakking and get it when you get a chance for the replay, it'll be up pretty quick for the replay. And once the comments open up, go ahead and, send me a comment. Take the time to scroll through this and just, listen if you're just yarning and usually we do a stash down, but I just really wanted to talk about my market because we are in market season now, so I wanted to get that said, and I hope it was beneficial to you and you learned a few things too. This is always fun to have these communities. And if you will come back and see me, don't forget, subscribe, love me, like me, whatever. And comment. I would really appreciate it. Love to get more people to see my stuff and see these little lives and give them a chance to come join us. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I'm gonna get off and go get to work. Love you. Bye.